Hello and welcome to the first installment of Concept to Creation. This is a fun series I put together to take a bit of a deep dive into the music I've written, from what initially inspired it to what the communication, the message of the song is, how I arranged it, as what instruments are in it and such, as well as the production elements of the song and how I brought it together and turned it into a final creation. So I'm going to start out by deep diving into the title track from my 2022 album, Welcome to the Freakshow. Really fun song, definitely got a lot of grit, a lot of edge to it. And the initial inspiration for the song, honestly, I was having kind of a crappy time in life. I was just in a really weird place. This was at the end of 2021. A lot of things in my life, in my mind, were just not doing well, kind of falling apart. And I was talking to a very good friend, and they were trying to help me through some things. And at one point, they were like, you just need to go write a song. Just go create something and just see if that doesn't help you. And then literally in the car ride on my way home from talking to that friend, the lyrics to this song just came like freaking magic. And actually, she was right. It did actually resolve a lot of things in my universe that I didn't even realize were there. So that's where this song started. So as far as the lyrics of the song, just to set the scene a little bit, this is the end of 2021. We've gotten through COVID, sort of, but we're still kind of dealing with it. I was in California at the time, so things were still very restrictive at the time. Again, just a lot of crazy stuff going on, and particularly on social media, and even on a personal basis, seeing people get into arguments and rip each other apart and fight each other and break up friendships and families over viewpoints on COVID, politics, all these things, and just a lot of people targeting the wrong people. Just a lot of that stuff is really what goes into the lyrics to this song, and just really trying to make the point of, you're kind of drinking the Kool-Aid if you do that. And at the end of the day, the things to focus on are the things that bring us together, not to negate things that are happening in the world, but it's usually not the right target to try to attack somebody because they have a different viewpoint than you. And that's really where I was going with this song. And to me, it turned into, especially on social media, it was a goddamn freak show. Some days, I just couldn't believe some of the things people were posting or saying to their friends and family and calling people out in ways that I'm just like, have you tried calling this person and talking to them and understanding their viewpoint a little more? So that's what's behind the lyrics and the communication in this song. All right, so arrangements. And just to define this a little bit, for arrangement, all I'm talking about is vocals, instruments, what different parts are there to this song from a musical standpoint. So first of all, you've got a driving drum line that changes tempo for the choruses, so it switches from kind of a halftime backbeat feel and then goes into hyperdrive for choruses, which again was kind of what, to emotionally create the feeling I was feeling at that point in time and where I was. There was a lot of push and pull in the world, and a lot of times where you felt like things were dragging, and then it was like, whoa, we're on hyperspeed now. So the drums really create that. So here's the drum part. I'm going to actually play this for you. By the way, I have my session open behind me. I'm going to try to do this for all of these as much as I can, where I'm going to show you the broken down parts of the song. Thought it would be interesting. I've seen videos of this for other artists. I think it's cool. So just to show you, here's what the drums are doing. Backbeat, kind of riding the hi-hat a lot. And now we go into double time. So you can see it kind of jerks you around a little bit, and that's kind of what I was going for. It set the mood. And then you got the bass line coming in here. So the bass is meant to give things kind of an ominous feel, right? Like make it actually, get this sense of impending doom in a sense. I mean, it was pretty bad, and depending on where you were in the country, some people had it rougher than others. So the bass is meant to really get that across, especially in the verses, which I'm going to play for you now, is the bass line from the verse along with the drums. Just going to solo that. So it's got that something's happening. It's almost like you're in a horror movie and something's coming around the corner. You don't know what it is, and then it's like, bam, you're on the roller coaster. So that's what the rhythm section is doing in this song. And then next thing is we got the rhythm guitars, heavy rhythm guitars, and then they drop out for the verses to really give it that dynamic and just literally emotionally drop you and then bring you back up to speed, but in a really hectic way for the choruses. So we're going to play that a little bit. So we're actually going to start with an interlude here. Subdued. Coming up to speed. I'm just going to solo that. Dropping out. Interlude. You can see how the dynamic really just plays with you. And now they just bleed out. So that's the general dynamic of this song from a guitar standpoint. And then we have our lead guitars, right? So there's a couple of different lead guitar lines on this song. And it starts in the intro, which I'm going to play for you now. That's your intro riff. Up an octave, a little more hectic. And we're going to go into the verses. It's going to come down. We got this really low lead. Bam! You got your guitars coming in here. So that's your general feel on that. And then we got our vocals. Now, with vocals, I did do, there's some parts that I kind of doubled up or even, and mind you, I did this in like 2022, so I'm trying to remember what I did, but it looks like I even doubled up or quadrupled up on some vocals here. These right here are all my vocals, or my lead vocals, I should say. And then I also have backing vocals on these tracks here, right? So we got a lot going on with vocals, but our verses are going to be just a single vocal line. And did that to really, again, create the dynamic so that when the vocals come in, the verses are supposed to sound really like introspective and such, right? And then the choruses are just big and in your face. So here's our vocal for the verse. Just to solo that for you a little bit. Play that again with just the vocal. A little love song just to pass the time. Watch the world burn. Somebody drop a dime. Breathe in the chemical. Strap in. We're going for a ride. Yeah. So really, boom, just in your face vocal, but also not super full. It's just a single vocal. Now contrasting that with coming into the choruses, right? So here's the chorus vocal. So it's actually, there's parts and they're each doubled is what we got here. A little more body to it. And then we got our backing vocals behind that, which I'm going to solo for you, and then I'm going to play them with the lead so you see how those work together. Here's your backing vocal. Welcome to the Freak Show, baby. Pretty simple. It's a two-part harmony there, right? Welcome to the Freak Show, baby. But then when you add it in with your lead vocal, welcome to the Freak Show, baby. So it's got that nice dimension to it. Welcome to the Freak Show, baby. And then later on, there's actually a three-part harmony at the end. I add another part to the backing vocal. Let's listen to that. Welcome to the Freak Show, baby. So there's this third part I added down here. Check this out. Welcome to the Freak Show, baby. Right? So just to break those up, right? So we got part 1,
Welcome to the freak show, baby.
Which is like an octave down.
Welcome to the freak show, baby.
Octave up. And then this guy here.
Welcome to the freak show, baby.
Put them all together, and what do you got?
Welcome to the freak show, baby. No one left.
Pretty nice full vocal sound, right? So that's the general feel. The only other part is that I want to go over is the guitar solo. Very nasty guitar solo, very much inspired by like Slash, Jerry Cantrell, guys like that. And as far as the inspiration for this song goes, I did mean to mention earlier. So at the time of this, that I wrote this, I was listening to a band called Mother Mother a little bit. They have a song called Hayloft that actually had a really cool riff that I kind of honestly, it inspired me to write the riff on this song. But kind of a blend of those guys along with like Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains kind of feel. Fairly simple, but definitely got a lot of attitude to it. And we switch to the wah-wah pedal. Again, very my own thing, but still very much heavily influenced by Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains, these kinds of guys. So that is all the parts of this song. Now, going into the overall production, not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I'm going to unmute everything. And just to show you what I got going on here, I mean, I try to keep it relatively simple as far as like mixing and stuff. So, you know, honestly, on my mastering bus, I really just have EQ and compressions, pretty simple. And then beyond that, I mean, every channel has its own thing, but generally speaking, EQ, compression are the main things I use on every channel. Guitars are obviously very heavily laden with distortion. The bass is actually kind of cool because it's got a pretty nice clean sound. I do actually have a little bit of essentially a chorus. It's a doubler on the bass, and I have this on a parallel channel, so this helps the bass to stand out a little more. It's actually a pretty simple, broken down production, and with this album, I wanted it to sound really pro and really big and full, but I'm also a big believer in letting the music talk for itself. So with that in mind, you know, kept the mix and the production as simple as I can, and the product was fantastic. I was super happy with it. So there you go. That is Welcome to the Freak Show, broken down, deconstructed from concept to creation. Let me know in the comments below how you like this video, if you want to see more, because I got a bunch more I can do for you. Would love to let you know about my creative process, my thought process as much as possible. And then also, too, if there's anything else you want to see on my channel, always feel free to let me know. I'm always very interested to know that. You can drop a comment with that. You can email me at johnnyferromusic@gmail.com. You can reach out to me on social media. However you can find me, you can reach out to me, and I'm always interested to know those things. The last thing I want to mention is that I do have a pre-sale going right now on my greatest hits album, Cockeyed Chemical Freak Show, which is going to be 19 of my best tracks, and I'm updating the production on them. So even Welcome to the Freak Show, there's going to be a little bit of a different production on it. Some tracks will be different, more heavily altered than others, but the versions of these songs on the greatest hits are going to be versions you can only get there ultimately. And some songs I'm changing vastly. So definitely check the link out on that in the comments. Please order your copy today. You can get a limited edition CD along with a digital copy, or if you don't have a CD player or don't really get into CDs, totally fine. There is a digital copy only option. You are more than welcome to utilize that. So check out the link below. And guys, until next video, I'm Johnnie Ferro. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Mwah!
Welcome to the Freak Show, baby. Twisted 10.